Hello friends, this is Sherry. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're going to have a good day, and I'm just here with a finished flip through of a little journal. So this is the journal. I've got it wrapped here with the goodie bag, so let's untie it. This tie is just made from the fabric that I used on the spine, this little tie closure. And this is the third buddy book that I was working on. I went ahead and finished that one before I, started a new project. This is the goodie bag, and it's made from a first little golden book, 5 little bunnies. The barcode was right here, so I put a little, this is some of that antique quilt that I was working with, the squares, the tattered squares. There were some that were better, some that were worse. Anyway, I took one and used it, and I made lots of little things out of it, but here's a little embellishment I made here with a button. Here's the fabric on the spine with 3 signatures. I used some gray wax cord which I think coordinates with this fabric very nicely. I've got the rickrack here that's light pink on the front and back. So that turned out nice and cute. So let's just get started with the flip through. Oh, here's the side. Let me show you real quick. I've got some tabs, like a little doily applique tabs here, and a little charm, paper clips, and fabric toppers here sticking out of the top. So super cute. And this was very fun to make this journal out of this little book. And I used lots of different eclectic papers and scrapbook papers, and I'll show you that. But this little pocket here, I've got one in the front cover, and on the back I fussy cut some flowers here out of the scrapbook papers I used, and made a little pocket here. And then this is a little journaling card that came into my possession somewhere along in the last few months, and it was the front of an invitation. I think I got it in Happy Mail, and it's so cute and pretty with the little bunnies there, like in a little garden. It's a little front of an invitation, so I stuck that in there as a journaling card. And so on the front of each signature, I did something a little different. Like this one, I washi taped on here. I wanted to embellish it a little bit, but I washi taped a pretty plain card on here so that the new owner can take this off. Washi tape's not permanent. So I thought the new owner could take this off and do whatever they want. They could leave it there. They could glue it down permanently, whatever. It is pretty right there, so that's why I put it there. And so here on this next page, I've got a little side tuck here with a little boy that I cut out. I used several pieces from a very old children's book, and I used a lot of those pages in the last few journals that I did. So I wanted to go ahead and use, I had a few more here. I want to go ahead and use them, So he looks so cute right there. And then in here, in the little tuck spot, I've got a green vintage, most of the ephemera in here is vintage unless something I made recently. And so this is a little vintage flash card and a ladybug playing card. So cute, right? And then this is some of the logarithmic paper that I received from Maria at Maria's Miscellany, and it's like kind of like just a different feeling paper, kind of like almost like onion skin, but I don't think it is. It's kind of like a glassine also, a mix between the two maybe. But yeah, it's got this orange grid over here, or a peachy color, and I think it's really pretty. And over here, let me hold it up so you can see it real quick. But this is a rub-on. I used a few rub-ons on here because I'm really enjoying using them right now, because they are so cool when you put them down. They look like they have always been there, so they're so pretty. And then here's another piece of that book, and it's a little girl here. Actually, this one's pretty on both sides, this page, but I thought I wanted this one for this paper clip. This is a vintage paper clip, a vintage plastic paper clip. That they don't make those anymore. This is some ledger paper, like used ledger. I found in a used ledger at a thrift store. It's that yellow, which is really pretty, with that bluish or aqua kind of, and red lines, and there's some purple lines over here. And then this is some pink kind of layered paper. It's with the track here, and I just folded it up, made a pocket. There's quite a bit of sewing in here on the pockets and, you know, things like that. So, and I used another piece of that book, that children's book in here is also a piece of that you can use as, you know, in your creating. A pretty piece of scrapbook paper here, double-sided, a certificate, a vintage certificate that I have dyed with some, it looks like I have some Rit dye on there. And this pocket is sewn. It's kind of a little double pocket. So in the back, I just have a little writing spot here, which I put a rub on here because I thought that would look kind of like stationery. And then a little label right there. And then there's three little, these tuck spots right here. I kind of made like almost like a belly band. I just put some pretty paper there with three little tags that you can have fun with. And those are in that front part of this pocket, kind of double pocket. All right, there. And this is a pretty little, oh, it's just a little card, a vintage card. It's kind of got a deckled edge over here. And then on the inside, I left room for writing or whatever you want to put in here on a lot of the pages. So these are the, you know, just random kind of eclectic vintage papers. This is the middle with a pretty piece of scrapbook paper. And here's a little, one of my paper clips I like to make with my, you know, I kind of make paper clip toppers with a lot of my my vintage sheet scraps. And that is one of them there. And then here in the middle, on the strings, I have a little, this is actually, well, I was told when I bought it from, I think, an antique store, that it was a Cracker Jack toy. It's a little, it's metal, and it's a little stagecoach. Isn't that cute? So that is in the middle on the strings in this first signature. So here we're on the back half. Here's one of the applique tabs I mentioned with a black paper clip. I mean, not paper clip, safety pin. And then just random papers again, like that's the music. Here's a double belly band. So this is the journaling card in the back here. See that right there? That's a journaling card. And let's see, let's see, the back of these, some of these journaling cards were patterned on the back, and I put some, like the music paper on the back there for writing. And then in the front belly band, front part of it, front layer, I put another little, there's another little journaling card right here where I put a half a piece of the doily applique there. And you see it says "So Happy" and the music on the back. So that just tucks in there, and I just have that little doily hanging out over the belly band. And then this is a little fabric bunny that I had cut out of some fabric I received in Happy Mail, and I put him right there. And I think that was the last of it that I had, and he looks so cute there that I just put him right there on that belly band. This is the pocket, like the double one that I just described. So in the back, I have an envelope that I received this several goodies, junk journal goodies and things in Happy Mail from Sherry at Studio 28E. And this was one of the envelopes that she sent me some printouts with some really beautiful paper, you know, printouts. And one of them was this envelope that I just folded up and added a little, you know, glued together, added a little journaling card there. That one has the music on the back too for writing area. But isn't that pretty? And it's a very sturdy paper, very nice. And a little, I think this was called Uncle Willie, a little card game, children's card game. So I put him, that little card right there in the front part of that pocket. And we have another pocket here, side tuck, with a bridge tally card and a little tag. This is a little piece from that book, the children's book I mentioned, with a little topper here from a very old linen that I had. This is the natural color of it. I didn't coffee dye it or anything, and I just thought it was so pretty, and I put a piece of that right there as the topper. And then here, in this pocket, there's a little piece written in the book right here, a little quote with some fabric, a little fabric square there. And this is a recipe divider card that I had made into a journaling card. Has the little tab here, and you know, you can see it's got a actual, you know, original handwritten recipe here on it with just some little embellishments, lace and butterflies. So that makes for a nice, pretty journaling card. Here's a piece of lace over cardstock here that I just had. That was it. That's all I had. And I just made it into a pretty little pocket here on this page. It's pink and pink, so it just went look so pretty together. And this is just a little, like a little note paper pad that I made out of some scraps. So it's a Peeps playing card. These are sewn across the top, and you see I have some little scraps on there that you can write on. Or you could even tear these off if you wanted to use them in collage or something. This one has a little bunny sticker on it, so cute. So that's that ledger. And here we're still in the back half of the first signature. We're finishing up here. And this is one of those little magnetic kind of notebooks that I had picked up. And it opens up, if you remember, if you've seen this before in my videos. I only found 3 of them. And they open up and you can journal in here. Both sides has these nice lines. It's actually a little like an address book. But I thought, what a great little journaling spot. And I just opened it up and slipped it in here under this little tuck spot and around it, so it would kind of magnetize itself on there and hold itself there. And it looks pretty. It kind of, the flowers look really pretty in this design. Looked pretty with this tuck spot too. And this is the back page, you know, cover of the first signature. This is a piece I cut out from that children's book too. So cute, looks so pretty right there. So I did the same thing here, where I didn't put this on permanently for someone to be able to move it around. So it's clipped on with a bulldog clip. And this is a little Beatrix Potter journaling card. It's got several layers, some words, some doily. You can see you can do whatever you want on the back there. So that's just clipped on. You can, you know, whoever might get this might want to glue this down permanently, or, you know, use it somewhere else. So you can see the pretty scrapbook paper, a bridge tally card, again, random little pieces of, you know, paper, vintage papers that I have picked up at thrift stores. Here's another rub-on. Let me show you this close because it's so pretty. It has some yellows in it, so that's why I put it on this page. It's a little teacup and saucer. Isn't that, I hope you can see it because it's so pretty. And like I said, it just looks, those look like they've always been there. They don't look like a sticker, and I'm just loving using those. So here on this page is the pretty scrapbook paper. And I have a little bunny paper clip here with, it's purple, and another divider card with, this journaling card is, I have a journaling card on there. And this is a little ticket sewn across the top. So it makes for a nice journaling card. Or, you know, it could be made into a pocket or something, whatever. Just fun stuff, right? So, music. This is coffee dyed music. And so we've got some ledger and some graph. This is from a guest book. I love using these because they have the nice pretty lines. This one has blue. And then on both sides, this is the vintage record cover sleeve, like a LP that I had picked up, and I just cut it up in 2 pages. Isn't that cool? It has several little pictures of record albums there. So I thought that was so cool when I found that. Only one, but it's been fun to make in 2 pages. This is from like a knitting book. So it's a pretty tablecloth there, like a vintage tablecloth with the knitting instructions on the back. Here's like a large divider card for recipes. It was large enough so that I could make it into a pocket. Here's the tab right here, sauces and dressings. So I thought those were cool. And I've got a little paper bag here. So I left the back open, and I have a journaling card there. It's right there, tucked in the back of that paper bag. And in the paper bag, I just used this little, you know, put this little tag in there with a topper from that antique quilt. Some of that fabric is on the top there. And that just tucks in that little paper bag that I have decorated with, you know, a little label here. This is a rub-on and some what I was been calling baby lace. This is the last piece of it right here. this very small and delicate lace that it had to be for baby clothes, right? So that's there. Okay, here's the middle of the second signature where I was going through my charms and things to find something to put on these strings. And I found these little plastic green leaves. Aren't they pretty? I'm sure I received them in Happy Mail, but they look so pretty right here. I thought, you know, with all these flowers and leaves, that they went so well that I put them there in this signature. So this is the back half there of the signature. Belly band here with some note paper. It's the long, kind of narrow note paper that you can make into writing spots, cut in half, tear up, whatever. But that is right there. Over here is a, this journaling card is sewed on and made into a pocket here. And there's another little tag here. The topper is a coffee dyed flower with a pearl. And that just fits in there like that. This was so fun to make. And so yes, the back half of the second signature. So these are the papers you saw in the front half. That's the guest book. And, you know, and here is pretty scrapbook paper with the doily applique, you know, that I talked about, the little tab. And this is one of my little bunny eraser charms. He is just clipped on there with a bulb pen. And those what came out, turned out so cute. I'm glad I tried that. That's something I had never done before. And I just, when I was in the store, I had that idea. I was like, I have to try making those into charms. They're so cute. That was fun. It was easy too. I have a video on that. So here's the back half of the second signature with another little person, little girl from that children's book. She's carrying a doll. And doesn't she look like she belongs there? When I put it down there, I was like, oh my goodness, that is so cute. So here's the third signature, again with the piece you can move around. A little Beatrix Potter type drilling card with the paperclip topper with some of my vintage sheet there tied into a bow. So cute. And then let's see. Let me see. I have paper clipped a page onto that. Didn't mean to do that. Let me take that off there. There we go. Those paper clips are so cute with that sheet on there. So in this back last signature or third signature, I have all the pages from the book. So I had to make them a little smaller in order to fit, because when you take these books apart, you a lot of times take off part of the spine. So that makes the pages too long, too wide. So when you do that, or when I do that, I have to make the pages a little shorter. So I either have to cut them in some way or whatever, something like that. So that's what I did. And so I got them all back in here in order so the story can be read in order. And then in between, I have some little pages, too, some of the electric papers and things. So on this one, I think I have a couple of pages in here from an old, football program. It's a vintage program. I found a bunch of them at a thrift store, and I thought they were so cool. They have all these neat pages and ads from, they were like 70s and 80s, if I remember right. So this one is a page from that. And on the back here, I just put some scrap papers. These are, well, not necessarily scrap, but coffee dyed papers, really, that I cut up and made a little topper here out of several scraps that I put together as a little cluster and sewed them together. And then I sewed them onto the top of this page to hold this all together and make a little, writing area there with lots of writing in all those papers. So this is a page from the book. This is a piece of that record album with a little bird here that that's the rub-ons. See what I'm talking about? So cute. And then one of the little applique doily tabs with an upholstery pin there. And then you can see a page from the book. Right here, 2 pages. The graph with another paper clip with another pretty sheet. This is the rose sheets. Those were so pretty. I still have some scraps left from those. And then here's a journaling card that I just clipped on here with a little spiral paper clip. This is the 2 layers of this was like a form that I picked up at I think this is the ones I picked up at an antique store. But there are 2 layers, and I left them together for strength, and I just think it's kind of cool to have the pink here, and then you have all the lines over here, so both sides can be written on or glued on or whatever, but they're double thickness now because, you know, I left them together. Here's actually the, you know, the perforated edge that you would tear off if you were using that form in its original intended purpose. But yeah, some more pages from the book. Here, another type of form type thing here with the yellow and green. I just thought that was so pretty. The yellow with the green print there. And then pages from the book. Oh, here's the middle. On these strings, I have the leaves again, but there's a green one and a kind of purplish one right here. Those are so pretty, aren't they? So this is the back half of the 3rd signature already. And we'll just flip through. This is some of that form again, the back half of it, with a little button card here that is paper clipped on. I was going to sew it down here as a pocket, but I thought, well, let me let this person, whoever gets this book and gives it a new home, to have the option of doing whatever they want with this. So you can use this in ephemera. You can use this as a pocket. You know, so many uses for these. A little tab, you can, you know, put it on a flip out for as a tab. Just, you know, have fun with it. It's paper clipped on here with a little like square spiral paper clip. And then we have, let's see, this is scrapbook paper and the book right here. This one is paper clipped on. This is one that I made out of one of those pretty kind of, what are they, apricot, peachy kind of divider cards, recipe divider cards with the little tabs. I put up this pretty journaling card on it. There's a little tiny piece of lace here, and I sewed a ticket on there as a tab for the top. That's another one of the square spiral paper clips. Those are so fun. So this is the pocket here, you can see, and it's that size here. Let me take this out so you can see it. So like side pocket. This is a vintage postcard with a little lady here. I sewed some pretty lace on that top. Or did I glue that? Oh, that's sewn on. Here is the other side. It's not dated, but somebody wrote a date on here where they were talking about these people here, and it says, well, this one says 1914, and this one says 1918. So I guess this postcard is from, you know, around that area or era or before. So yeah, and if you don't like what this says, you can actually, it's in pencil. I didn't erase it, but you can erase it and or cover it up, whatever, you know, type thing. This is a little book made. I have a little fabric spine with the strings hanging out. I sewed it together. And this is some of my tie-dye paper that I made the little spine out of. And then this is the little peep cards, playing cards or game cards, whatever they were. And just put some, here's another one of those little bunny stickers. And made that into a little, you know, booklet for journaling or whatever. You could put little pictures in there if you wanted to, or mementos or whatever. Little collection maybe that you want to keep together. So yes, more pages from the book, pretty scrapbook paper. And we're at the end where we have another page from that children's book. Another pocket here that I fussy cut these flowers. If you remember at the beginning I said from the scrapbook paper. And of course it matched all the scrapbook papers I used in here. That's what this is here. I've got the rickrack on inside too, in the front and back on this edge where the fabric meets the scrapbook paper. And yeah, that was the scrapbook paper too. So it all, you know, coordinated. A little tag here. This scrapbook paper had like a green grid or graph paper kind of looking design on the back. So very nice for writing. This is a little tag I punched. You know, I have a punch this size. And it was a vintage cover from a little children's book. And I made it into little, I mean, I thought it was so pretty, and it's very, you could even see how kind of vintagey the colors look. And then this is just a little scrap I had that I made into a tag also with some scrap fabric that I just made a little topper there. So fun to use your scraps like that, right? make pretty little tags and journaling cards and things. So that is in there. And then that is the end of the book, or the journal. So that was really enjoyable to finish that up, because I had made 3 and that was the last one I needed to finish. Oh, I found these pretty turquoise at one of my Dollar Trees. I went to the big one, the big Dollar Tree this week. I don't go to that one because it's a little bit out of my way. But I wanted to go there because I know sometimes they have different things, and you know, they can fit more things in their store. And I found these bags there that I hadn't seen at any other store. They're called Spring something or other. So anyway, I just thought they were so pretty. So in here, the goodies, we can go over real quick. This is a piece of scrapbook. This is a piece of wallpaper from the little sample wallpaper book I found recently. A recipe card. Here's some, I had taken a bunch of book pages and cut them into like journal card shapes. So I put a couple of those in here just for whatever. Crafting or collaging. Then I put all the scraps that I could gather from, here's a big bingo card. Not big, but you know, bingo card. And I think that's been around for a while. It might be vintage. See, it's starting to kind of brown. And then, oh, there's a guest chick in here. These are the scraps and some extra little scraps I had here in my basket that I was using for this journal. So I just picked them all up when I was done and put them in here. Here's another one, some pretty ones. They're all pretty. And there's a piece of the music. Here's even the little strips I put in here. I thought, you know, why not? They're so pretty. And you can use these for so many different things. Here's a little, whoops, this is a little circle punch. I have a little circle punch and I just had that sitting here. Another little scrap. This is some of the fabric. I put a piece in here that you know, I used on the spine. So that's a piece of that. And here's some coffee dyed tickets. You know, they have white lines, or some of them have white lines on the back. And so there's journaling room on the back. Or you can use these for tag toppers or whatever. And then here's all the little bits and pieces like buttons and butterflies, punch outs. Here's a little label like punch outs that I put in here. So yeah, I put a little bit of bits and pieces in this, you know, little coin envelope, which those are super fun to do something with, make little pockets or whatever. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed the flip through, and I am on to my next journal creating adventure. I can't wait. I had an idea that I can't wait to do because it's something I've never done before. So look forward to that, and I'll see y'all next time. Have an awesome day and happy crafting.